Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, your place for news and gameplay. Some good, some bad, and let's be honest, likely some rage and tilting. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications. Today's episode, we're taking a look at some test server action. Specifically, in this test server, what we are going to be looking at is quite a few things. First, we're going to be looking again at the advanced repair unit, which the repair unit is 20% per second for a duration of 3 seconds with a cooldown of 20 seconds. We're looking at a new module called Anti-Control, which suppresses any of the effects of suppression and lockdown. So it gives you protection for a duration of 10 seconds. And it has a cooldown of 21 seconds. This is a passive module, so for it to activate, you just have to be hit either with suppression or lockdown. It will automatically activate for you, so there is no power cell cost for this. We're looking again at the death mark. It was originally in with the bundle of all the modules when all the modules came live, but they were originally taken out. It's back again. Now the target receives 25% more damage. So what this happens is you can actually lock down an enemy. Not lockdown, sorry. You can actually mark an enemy with this death mark from across the field. You don't have to be in any certain distance away from it. You just have to have field of view, and the enemy can't be in stealth, of course. You have to be able to actually put your crosshairs over them and be able to target them. But you can actually mark them for death, and the duration is 7 seconds. And what that actually happens is anybody, not just yourself, anybody who does damage to that person you've marked does 25% more damage. So if you happen to have 3 people on your team hitting the same target and it's been marked, all 3 of those people will give 25% more damage. I've heard a few people think this particular module will be the death of the invader. I'm not so sure. I'm going to actually run the invader in the test server, but it's just going to be a small test. So as always, things always change when they go to the live server. We also apparently have some new visual effects for the repair, suppression, corrosion, and lockdown effects. And there has been a machine gun rework. So quickly, let's just go over the hangar I'm going to be running just in this test server. So first off, I have the Blitz. So if you look at what I put on the Blitz here, we have 4 sparks, and I equipped it with the anti-control. So we'll look at the anti-control here. And as you can see, this is what it looks like. And if we look at the details, it says automatically remove negative effects and provides temporary protection against them, reloads after activation. The more modules, the shorter the reload time. 3 max modules provide permanent protection against negative effects. I really don't see people running 3 of them, but the way this works, although the numbers aren't here, is you obtain using 3 of them, you obtain the permanency, not because if you just happen to equip 3 of them, it's automatically permanent. What happens is the cooldown for this effect is reduced so much using 3 of them, because having 3 on it, the cooldown, the reduction in the cooldown stacks. So having 3 of them, the cooldown becomes less than the duration of the actual module itself. So since the anti-control duration is 10 seconds and its cooldown is 21 seconds, the cooldown reduces 3 times such that it gets below the 10-second duration. So the cooldown begins when the module activates, not when the module finishes its duration, which is different from other modules. So the cooldown becomes less than this 10 seconds and hence becomes permanent. I'm also on here, I'm running Last Stand, and I'm running the thermonuclear reactor. And I put death mark on this thing because I just wanted to try to help teammates from afar. I don't think I'll get to the point of maybe using death mark specifically for myself, but I'm going to try to use it if at all possible if I bring the Blitz in on the field. Second here, we have the Ares, of course. I put 2 Scourge, 2 Halos on it. I put, again, the anti-control, the Last Stand thermonuclear reactor, and I'm running here just the advanced repair unit. Next, we have the Bulwark. I put 2 Avengers on it because I wanted to see how this machine gun rework looks. Again, I have the anti-control, but I did not put Last Stand. I decided to put 2 thermal reactors on this, along with, of course, the advanced healing module. I put the Invader in because I wanted to see how it really affected with the anti-control, if anybody decided to use it on me, or maybe even the death mark. So we have the Corona and 2 Halos. I could put the last stand and 2 heavy armor kits on this. I did not put any of the anti-control. I just wanted to see how the invader in its current meta might hold up on the test server. And finally, I put in the Spectre Vortex. I'm not well, actually, I don't even have a Spectre on my main account, and I don't have any Vortex on my main account. But I had been running this a little bit in the recent skirmish that Manny had created, and I was having a ball trying to use the Spectre Vortex, so I just wanted to throw that in there. I decided to put the death mark on this. Because I don't need line of sight to activate, I wanted to actually try and see if I could mark somebody for death and then jump up and hit them with Vortex and see what kind of damage they did. Beyond that, I also put the anti-control on this bot. I did not put the last stand because I am using Vortex, so I'm not trying to brawl with this. I'm just trying to stay under cover as much as possible and lob these Vortex up over structures. So that is my lineup. So without any further ado, let's get into the action. Well, everyone, we finally got a match. I'm going to take whatever comes across with this match. Usually I like to pick what video I put up online, but the Android test server has been a little bit bugged, and it took me almost 3 minutes to find this one match. So looks like team deathmatch. We're going to start here with the Spectre. Now, the reason I wanted to start with this one is I think I might be able to get some people over here on the platform, and I do have the death mark on here. So my idea here is if I can enable the death mark and then get my 4 vectors, my 4 vortex to hit a target, that'd be great. Unfortunately, there's stealth, but I think that's a pursuer over there. He's going to be hard to hit. I was expecting a little bit more people to stay on this platform. Looks like most of them went over to the farm area. So I'm going to be kind of stuck here. I'm going to try and see if... So I enabled the death mark. You can see the little icon above the ID there, but unfortunately I didn't hit him with a vortex, and I landed down here in this kind of trench, which I didn't want to. So I'm kind of a sitting duck here, at least until I can get my stealth back and come back up onto the platform. I don't know if I can hit him from down here. Yeah, see, he has spirals or vortex or something on that as well, so that's going to be kind of annoying to deal with. So I nailed his death mark again. I'm going to try to hit him again here, but no, he got behind cover. So he's going to hit me here. Obviously, he's been focusing me most of the match here so far. Try to hit him down here a little bit if I can. Okay, we got him taken out anyways. Let's rinse and repeat here. Let's see if somebody else drops in and if I can somehow get a good shot off on these vortex. So I'm not sure what this is here. It looks like, yeah, it's a incoming. Yeah, it's a Mercury here. So once he gets into stealth, I'll see if I can actually get him death marked and jump up here and hit him. That was a good hit. That was a good hit, but he has last stand. So of course he would have been dead otherwise with that direct hit from the vortex. But that's kind of the idea that I was thinking would probably work well on something here like the Spectre with vortex. I don't think the death mark is going to be a popular module. I still think the advanced repair unit and the other ones are going to be a little bit more popular here. But for those, I'll explain the death mark again. So when you enable the death mark, what happens is your target takes 25% more damage. And it's not just from you, it's from any of your teammates that also hit that same target. So here, again, I'm gonna look and see which one I can pick off here, hopefully some vortex. And if you watch closely, there'll be an icon above them right there. So I'm going to go for that guy right there. Oh, I hit him really well there actually. So it does have a little bit of icon, so your teammates, if they happen to see that, they can also hit the same target for 25% more damage. Now, I will die here, most likely. I'll do what I can. Oh, that was a good hit too, but yeah, I knew it was going to be dead there. So, what else am I going to start with? Let's see here. Let's throw in the invader. Because the idea I think people are having here with things like the death mark and the anti-control is that the invader is going to be quote-unquote dead. In other words, there's going to be too many people running the counters that the invader relies upon. So here I'm going to jumping in. I don't really see too many people so far on the test server really running the anti-control for some reason, which is unfortunate. So you just see I'm glowing here. That's because I have anti-control on this, and somebody hit me either with lockdown or suppression. So that glowing aspect lets you know that your ability has been triggered, because the anti-control is not an active module, it's passive. So what happens is once you've been hit with either lockdown or suppression, it will automatically trigger, and it has a duration of 10 seconds. So here I come in, I'm going to try to suppress both these bots. See this guy right here, he didn't have the anti-control on it because he was still affected by my suppression. And we're trying to go after this invader here. Not invader, sorry, this falcon. See what we can do here. I'm just brawling at this point. I'm using my advanced repair unit, so that healing 20% of my damage being inflicted. There we go. Taking him out too. Alright, so now the reason I actually have the advanced repair unit on this bot instead of something like either the death mark or another item is because I purposely didn't put anti-control on here. I wanted to see if the new advanced repair unit could potentially be a counter to the anti-control, meaning somebody, when you're jumping in, you're trying to rely on your suppression and so you can suppress their weapons, but because they have anti-control, their weapons are no longer suppressed, so they're still hitting you with their full firepower. But with the advanced repair unit healing 20% of your damage on something like an invader that has, especially if you have maxed out heavy armor kits, you're looking at something like a 700,000 hit point here. And of course now I'm stuck here. That was a bad jump on my part. But anyways, so if you have a 700,000 hit point bot, something like an invader with maxed out heavy armor kits, healing 20% of that is something around 200,000 hit points. So it might actually be able to counter the loss of your suppression. So I don't think the invader would necessarily be dead, but I do think it will be quite a game changer. I see going forward, at least for the premium players, of the top tier, the ones in the upper champion league, if they have the 3 slots on their bots for the passive modules, I can see them running 1 last stand and 1 anti-control, because lockdown is an issue with the game, but I don't think adding yet another module to counter effects such as the lockdown weapons, which people have invested a lot of time and effort into upgrading, I don't think there's a problem, because the problem is the weapons itself. Now, Manny has had a suggestion, and I've heard him mention it multiple times, and I really think it's a really good one. And it's not that you have a chance to lock down a target when you're using the lockdown weapons. It's an accumulative effect, meaning it takes you 5 shots or 10 shots to guarantee a lockdown. So it's not just you can get lucky with 1 single shot and lock somebody down. There should be, and I do think that this is a way to address the lockdown issue, is that it takes 5 or 10 shots of a lockdown weapon in a short period of time to actually lock down a target. Anyways, I don't know if Pixonic will ever do that, but I do think it's a great idea. Now I'm just running my bulwark here because the Avengers supposedly had an effect change done to it, but I haven't noticed anything in any of my gameplay. I'm going to try and hit this guy up here once he gets out of stealth, if he comes around the corner a little bit, and see if we can notice any kind of difference to the effects of the... Yes, I don't see a change here. This seems to be completely normal. So I don't know what Pixonic changed with the Avengers here. And they did the same thing with the Punishers, but I haven't noticed any changes there either. So it looks like this match is over. It was a relatively short match. Oh, we got another guy jumping in here. So let's try to hit him again. See if maybe he'll hit me. There's supposed to be some shield. The shield has changed from the last test server. Actually, it looks a lot similar to how it is on a live server. I didn't initially like the shield changes that I had last week on the test server. I preferred the ones on the live server. But I must say, after playing more games last weekend, it was starting to grow on me. So I do think overall I prefer the shield UI from the last test server and not the ones on the live. Anyways, that probably should be game here. My final thoughts: advanced repair module I don't think is needed in this game. The regular repair unit is fine. We don't need a 20%. That just sets a precedent going forward for advanced lockdown weapon, advanced quantum radar. I don't think it's necessary. And as for the anti-control, I don't think it's the way to fix the problem with the lockdown weapons. I actually prefer Manny's suggestion. So let's just look at the end of score here, and we'll call it a day. So what did I do here? See here, I got 4 kills and 850,000 damage. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. I'm open to any constructive criticism. And until next time, cause some mayhem in the field for me.